Hello, everybody. Actually, there's nobody here but me. It's okay. It's freezing cold here in Rochester, New York. It's about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. It's negative 10 Celsius or some crazy number. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to continue on with our Litecoin mining tutorials. If you are now watching this, this is number 4. So hopefully you've watched 1, 2, and 3. If you haven't watched part 1, part 2, and part 3, stop now and go watch them first. I'm going to be assuming that you've already watched them, so I'm going to make some generalizations and talk about things that we've already talked about in previous videos. So if you're confused, that's okay. You can go ahead and catch up and then come back to this one. This will be this obviously is on YouTube, and we're doing it live right now on Twitch, but we will we'll fix all that up shortly and we'll have it available on YouTube. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're literally going to build a mining machine. Now, I don't have the money to do this, but we're going to assume that you do, and you're ready to build a machine other than running this computer or running mining inside of your own personal computer, which can be done. So this is going to be a long video today, folks. Stick with me if you want. We will cover everything. We're going to go over basically what you need to get started, what it's going to cost to build a rig, and the parts that you're going to need to do it yourself. All right? Before we get started, I unfortunately have to assume you know how to operate a PC. Okay? The reason I bring this up, it sounds kind of strange. I'm getting 20 to 30 emails a day. I'm getting probably 40 or 50 comments on my videos for Litecoin mining. And of these video comments and emails, a lot of them are basically people that have no idea how to even operate a piece of software. And so while I appreciate your enthusiasm, it's way beyond the scope of what this video can do to help you. Okay, I apologize for that, but you're going to have to get into the basics of computers, like how to open a zip file or how to open an RAR file. That's beyond the scope of this, and also how to run the software. So I don't mean to sound mean or anything like that, but it's way beyond the scope of what I can handle, and I can't definitely help you on Twitter because I only got 140 characters, and to explain to you how to operate software with 140 characters ain't gonna happen. So once you're caught up and you're a computer genius, not really, you don't have to be a genius, we're gonna go through how to build a computer, and all you really need is the ability to follow some basic instructions and be able to plug things in that only go in a hole one way. If you're good at putting a square peg through a square hole and a round peg through a round hole, you can build a PC. If you've ever built a computer, or if you ever built a toy model like a car or a plane or whatever, then you can build a PC. Not that difficult. There are some things that you can do there. If you're a little more handy, we'll talk about doing that. If you're not so handy, then we can actually still do it. It just might take a little bit of tweaking, okay? All right, so let's go on. First off, what you're looking at right here is, this is a spreadsheet that I'm making. You'll be able to go to it directly by going to http bit.ly miner build, capital M. It's case sensitive, okay? And this sheet that we're going to be working on in the background is going to be the build. You'll be able to go there, look at how the parts that we recommended and what they cost now. I mean, of course, the prices change, and we'll cover that in detail as we get going. So that is available for you to use when you get started to build this, and it's available right here on the web. It's on Google Doc, so you don't even need to have a Google account. You just basically go there to the website, and you can jump right in. Now, see, I didn't give you the reason I use bit.ly is look at this long URL. That's very unwieldy. Okay, so we're assuming now, like I said, that you already have a computer that you're running a single card on. Okay, you have a single GPU. Sorry, I'm looking around for my card. You have a single GPU and it's cranking away Bitcoin or Litecoins, and you're happy as clamming whatever. And it's successful. You are at least mining some coins, and you want to take it to the next step. The next step from the single card is to move up to a multiple card rig. Today what we're going to be building is a 4-card rig. And you can rinse and repeat this option for as many different ones as you want. You can go as high as 6 cards in one particular rig, but those motherboards and things are really pushing it. So we're going to just stick with a 4-card rig for right now, and then we'll go up from there. And of course, like I said, you can double this, triple this, quadruple this if you want 20 or 30 cards. And you think I'm being crazy, my friend Trendane went to a local store to pick up his new computer, and he wanted an AMD card so he could do mining. They had no AMD cards because somebody at that store had just bought a 20-card rig. So yeah, I'm not joking here, and we're going to talk about some of these issues in a bit. Okay, so first off, the cost. This is the biggest thing you have to weigh in, all right? Right now, Litecoins are kind of stabilizing around $20 to $30 a coin, which is fairly good. I mean, it's still great, but the difficulty is going up exponentially, all right? So when I first started talking about this, back when I made the video, I think about a month ago, the difficulty was around 1200. Now the difficulty is closing in on 4,000, and what's happening is back then I had a single card, I was getting half a coin a day. Now I've got 3 cards running, and I'm barely getting 0.3 coins a day. So that's crazy, and it's just going to get harder. But you can still get in. I'm not saying don't get in. Bitcoins, I mean, you mine for weeks and you get 0.00001 of a Bitcoin. So, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. Litecoin, like I said, up and down right now. There's other coins that you can also look at. There's Nova Coin, there's Nameless Coin, and then there's Feather Coin, and a couple other ones. It all depends on what you want to do. Like, you can mine any other coin and transfer them into Litecoin if you want by using the exchange. But like I said, that's outside the scope of this video. We've already talked about exchanges before, so we're just going to kind of skip over it. All right, so cost. If you're going to spend $4,000 on this machine that you're going to build, you have to know how long it's going to take to get that money back. If your machine, let's just throw out a real quick arithmetic here. If your machine is using a 7950, you have 4 7950s, each one of those is getting, say, 600,000 hashes per second. I'm going to go ahead and drag Mr. Calculator up here. So 600,000 times 4 cards is 2.4 million hashes per second that those cards are going to go ahead and generate for you. 2.4 million hashes per second is probably around 0.6 to 0.7 coins a day. So let's just say it's the difficulty's gone up, and right now by the time you're looking at this, 0.5 coins a day. We'll just make it easier math. So 0.5 coins a day means that every 2 days you're going to make a coin. All right, so every day you have 1 coin, and that means in a month you're going to get a total of 15 coins roughly. 15 coins times, we'll just give you be generous here, $30 a coin, is $450 a month that you could currently make right now. If you paid $4,000 for this machine, it's going to take you 10 months to pay this off. If you're okay with that, then let's proceed. If not, you might not want to get into coin mining right now, at least with Litecoin. The other coins you could still get into, Nova Coin, all these other ones are kind of going up through time. And so you might be able to jump into those. And Nova Coin, I think the difficulty right now is like 150 or something. So it's actually pretty easy. Maybe not Nova Coin. I was playing with another one the other day. Nameless Coin, I think, was like 150. So I was making a coin like every 20 minutes. It wasn't bad. I'm making those coins, but they're not worth nearly what a Litecoin is. But of course, Litecoin wasn't worth that much either when it first came out. So if you want, go ahead, start using it for other coins, and you could probably make your profit back a little bit quicker. So I just wanted to cover that. So the cost has to outweigh the value of what you're going to be using this for. All right, it's still doable, just there's a bit of risk to it. Okay, so the benefits are, let's just say now that you're making 15 coins a month with your 4 7950 rig, and the value of coins now Litecoin shoot up to $100 a coin in, say, 6 months. So if, say you do that, and say you've done it for 6 months, so 15 coins a month times 6 months is 90 coins, and if the coins shoot up to $100 a coin, you just made $9,000. That's not bad. So you still have a potential to make money in this game. Okay? No worries if you're still a little bit hesitant. I understand. All right, so let's get into the meat of the situation here. You've decided that $9,000 ain't bad for 6 months worth of work, and you wanted to set this thing up from scratch. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and start calculating. The place that I'm going to recommend you to go to is newegg.com. Now, it's not the best website. There's other websites that are like Newegg, but I'm going to walk you through how to do it on Newegg, okay? Because it's the one I like, and so it's easiest for me to show you right now, so that's why we're going to do it. Okay, so one of the things you're going to want to figure out is what video card you want, and we'll get to that later, actually. But for right now, we have to figure out what type of computer to start off with. Now, the computer itself, the CPU and the motherboard, can be anything, literally, as long as it's sort of semi-modern and it can handle has a good wide bandwidth, which almost all new motherboards and processors do. You could go with the lowest end one that you could find. I'm serious. All of the processing power is being done on the GPU. Hardly anything is happening with the CPU. The CPU is just basically passing the code through to the GPU. The GPU is coming up with the answer, giving it back to the CPU, and the CPU gives it away on the network back to the pool. So you don't need an i7 4770K overclocked to 10 gigawiggles. You don't need that. That's crazy. It's just useless. It's using up extra power that you don't really need it. So, all right, so let's go with a theoretical AMD build. Not that AMD is better than Intel. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. And because we're trying to go for cheap, AMD usually has a cheaper processor and motherboard combos. So before we actually get the processor, we need a motherboard. Why do we do the motherboard first? Because we're going to be building this with 4 GPUs. Now, most motherboards don't have that many GPU slots, and most cases cannot handle GPUs crammed in that tight together because the GPU is that wide and the slots are this far apart. So you do the math. You can't cram them all in there. So you're going to have to get a specialized motherboard. So first off, we're going to go to computer hardware, then motherboards. And then we are then going to go to AMD motherboard, because that's what we talked about. And we're going. This is the trick here. And a lot of people are like, "Well, what motherboard do I buy?" And I've had at least 10 emails from 10 different people, all confused which motherboard to buy. And that's why we're doing this video, because I'm going to show you how to use the search feature. Because people, literally had one guy write me 10 times with 10 different motherboards. Okay, does this one work? Will this one work? Will this one work? I can't, I just don't have the time in the day to spend to look at every single thing like that. So that's why we're making this video. So hopefully anybody writes me from now on, I'm just going to go, "Look, pal, look at this video." I mean that in a nice way. Okay, so let's go ahead. So what we're looking for is on the left side here. Forget the socket. We'll get to that in a minute. Forget the price, the manufacturer, CPU, none of that stuff. We are looking for PCI Express 2.0 times 16. That's the slot that the video card plugs into. And we want at least 4 PCI Express. See, there's one that has a 5, there's one that has a 6. If you want to go that crazy and do that, fine. But these motherboards are super expensive. But we'll say 4. And look at this. All of these ones listed here have 4 PCI Express slots. Was that amazing or what? I showed you how to do that. That just probably blew your mind. You were like, "Oh my God, Geekdomo, how did I use that PCI Express number 4 button over here?" I'm being sarcastic, sorry. So then what you want to do, just to double check, you click on the motherboard that you like. This is a nice one. And then you're going to look at the picture of the motherboard. Okay? Now looking here, there's a blue one up at the top. And then there is a little one, which we're not going to be concerned with. Then there is a darker colored one, you see? And then there's a blue one again, and then a darker colored one again. So there's a total of 4 PCI Express. Now you look at the light blue one there is an old PCI slot. It's not a PCIe, okay? It's a PCI. A big difference. You notice how the light blue one has a sort of a separate thing to the back side, and it's got like a little section in the back, and then the other one has a little section in the front. See, the card wouldn't ever go in. It's backwards. So you got to be sure you're always dealing with PCI Express. Or PCIe, I'm sorry. PCI Express 2.0 times 16. All right, so this motherboard is $149. Let's look at another one. It's pretty highly rated. This one, look at this one. Oh my God, this one is 1050. People love this one. It's Gigabyte. Oh, that's a pretty slick looking motherboard there. Look, it's all black. Doesn't matter what color you get. But anyway, see, now you're looking at this one again. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got one PCI Express tiny thing for like audio cards. You don't need that. Doesn't matter. And then it also has a regular PCI. Okay? So the ones with a little thing in the front and has a latch in the back, that latch is where the video card latches into. It actually holds the video card in place. This one, okay, so we're going to pick this one. We're going to add it to our cart. We're not actually paying for this stuff yet. We're just adding it to a cart to see what it comes up to. And we'll go back to our spreadsheet, and we're going to say new egg. And we're going to look at this thing again. Okay, it's this motherboard here. And we'll go back to our sheet and we'll pop that in right here. And we're going to say one of those. And it costs $149. Look at my spreadsheet. Isn't that special? Okay, hold on. I got to actually make this format for money. There we go. Okay. Now, that's our motherboard. Now all we need to do is we need a processor. And Newegg's really nice because it actually goes, hey pal, you just picked this motherboard. You would probably like this processor. But we don't necessarily want that processor. Okay, so the motherboard is a AM3 Plus. Okay, I know there's a lot of numbers and stuff in here, and if you're new to this, you're gonna freak out. You're like, wait a second. Look at all these numbers, it's scaring me. But the AM3 Plus is the socket type for AMD. Okay? So that's the socket you want to go for, particularly for this one. So we're going to go back to computer hardware. We're going to go to CPU. Here we go. And then on the left side here, we're going to go processor desktop. Okay, yeah. And we're going to go down here, and we're going to go for, first off, AMD. So you can just click that, and it gets rid of all the Intel ones. And then we're going for an AM3 Plus. Not rocket science here, folks. So we have an AM3 Plus right here, 95 watt. This is important because you have to add up all your wattage. Okay, we're going to do that when we get to the power supply section. So this AM3 Plus, 95 watt, 6-core desktop. I mean, it's overkill. It really is. 6 cores, really. You don't need that. But whatever, it's the cheapest one here. Oh, wait. Here's one. It's $99. You know, I would go with the $99 one, to be quite honest with you guys. Okay, so it's quad core. It's all you need. You don't need anything more than that. The processor does nothing on this other than like run the computer. So there we go. AMD FD Goober box, and we're gonna go ahead and pop the Goober box up here. Paste that. We want one of those, and we're gonna pay $99 for it. Okay, we're a total of $248 so far. All right, back to shopping. Isn't this fun, shopping? Okay, now what you're going to need is RAM. So going back, you always want to use your motherboard as your point of reference. If you're ever lost and you go, wait a second, Geekdomo, this motherboard is no longer available. I'm watching this video now and it's been 3 months and this motherboard's gone. And I can't use any of the parts. You can. You just got to go back to the motherboard that you did pick and you want to look at the specs for it, okay? So go down the page a little bit here and you go to specifications. And then it tells you what you are going to use, okay? The memory is DDR3 2000 overclock. You don't need to overclock your RAM, okay? You just don't. Not when you're talking about doing mining. It's totally irrelevant, okay? So you need 240 pin for, basically just look for DDR3 and any speed will do. So you go back out here, you go to computer hardware, and we're going to look for memory. Memory. I'm missing it. There's right. I have lost my memory. And we're going to go to desktop memory. It doesn't need heat sinks and fans and lasers and all that crap. You literally just need about 8 to 16. I'd say 8 gig would be fine. Oh, look at this. Let's see. We'll go down here and go to something cheap. 59 bucks. There we go. 8 gigabyte. That's all you need, folks. Don't need anything fancy when you're talking about the memory here. And it comes with like some cool link graphics on it. And that's special. All right, so $59. Add this to our cart. Okay, and we're going to go back to our cart because the name of this thing is really long. And oh geez, we'll grab this because if you do a search for this later on, you'll find it. Okay, and we're going to paste that here. And we're going to need one of those. And they're $59. And I'm not adding in tax, guys. You know, wherever you live, it could be anything. So this is the before tax prices, okay? Because certain countries, certain areas, they're going to pay different money for taxes. All right, so there we go. There we have our motherboard, we have our RAM, and we have our processor. This is your basic backbone of your computer. The next thing that we're going to need to get is our hard drive. Now, it could be anything. If you have a little bit of cash to spend, I would recommend getting a SSD hard drive. The reason for that is SSDs boot up quicker, and so you might have some people, or you might have some time where you're having to restart your computer, and if you have to wait for it, whatever. But you literally need the smallest that you can possibly get. Matter of fact, Windows, if you just install Windows operating system or Linux, which one you're going to use. I'm going to use Windows as an example for right now. You need about, 40 gigabyte, I think, max on Windows. So if you get a 64 gigabyte, you got plenty of room left over. So you could get a cheap SSD hard drive for that. But if you don't, so you want to go, remember, we're not talking about going the cheap route here. We're going with the best. Okay, up to 90 gigabyte, and look at this, 63 bucks. That's all you need. Just make sure it's an actual SSD. This one, I have this one here. It's a mini SATA. I bought this once. I still actually use it because my motherboard actually supported this. This is not the same. You want to go with a regular SATA SSD, not an M SATA. Okay, so fair warning. And Crucial looks like it's a good one here, so we'll go with the Crucial. And there we go, $69. There's your hard drive, 64 gigabyte. Let's go ahead and copy that. Copy, and then the pasty. And we're going to 1, and it was $69. Look at that, not even up to 500 bucks yet. You almost got a whole computer. But we are going to go really expensive really quick. We haven't got to the expensive stuff yet. This is all just the stuff to get the computer running. So now we have a motherboard, we have a processor, we have RAM. Oops. I'm sure we'll label this as RAM. Actually, you know, I should, this column here, we'll make it this column. What the is this? Okay. This is a motherboard, processor, RAM, and hard drive. Okay, the cheapest route to go next is to use Linux, and if you are savvy, Linux is the better operating system to do mining with. I say better because you get a little bit better throughput with it. Not a ton, okay? Windows is easier, so if you're already a Windows user, you might want to stick with Windows. If that's the case, you can go ahead and get yourself a Windows operating system, okay? So operating system right here, and we're going to go with the cheapest thing we can find for Windows. And it looks like $100 is what you're going to spend. It doesn't have to be. I would stay with Windows 7 to be quite honest with you. Windows 8 is still a little. There's some issues I've seen with Windows 8 and mining. Just some things I've read. Not bad, but Windows 7 works. So let's just go ahead and add this one. Oh, you want a 64-bit? Sorry, you want the 64-bit operating system. Always get the 64-bit. So $100. We need one. $99. And this is the operating system. And we're going to cut this and we're going to paste it here because, oops. There's like no buffer here. It's like really hard to read. Okay. Okay. So now we have our motherboard, processor, RAM, hard drive, and the operating system. This is a computer. Missing one thing, the power supply. We're not doing the power supply yet because we need the video cards. So now we get to the good stuff. This is the workhorse of the machine. Okay, the workhorse of this machine is going to be the video card. Now, before actually we get into that, let's talk about one other thing. The case. You can go buy a case that will probably support 4 video cards. Actually, there are cases that support 4 video cards. All right, so the thing that you want to go with when you get a case is it has to be massive so that it has enough room to put these video cards in. Okay, the closer you put the video cards, the hotter they run. So there are 2 different schools of thought here. Either you can buy a case if you're not handy. If you're not handy at all, you can't put the screw in and without causing yourself major injuries or infliction, then don't build your own case. If you are handy, you can build your own case. Let me show you what one looks like. So here is a case that somebody built. Basically, it looks like it's made out of just regular aluminum, anodized aluminum square with caps at the end. And they built this themselves. You notice how wide the video cards are. The video cards are spaced like this so that it gets more airflow to each video card. And you'll notice some cables down below. Those are called risers, and we're going to talk about risers in just a little bit. If you were to put this into a normal computer case, these video cards are going to be like millimeters apart. So there's hardly going to be much air able to get between the cards, and these cards are going to run hotter. If you're okay with that, then buy a case. If you're not, then you might want to build one. Building the case for this is way outside the scope of this particular thing. I don't have any show you how to build one, so I'm just going to show you one, and then you'll go from there. Okay. So let's assume you can't build a case. You don't know how. You're fine with the video cards running a little hot. You're going to leave the side of the case open and put fans blowing on your case at all times with an air conditioner at max. Okay, cool. So let's look for a case. So computer cases, you want a full size chassis, okay, which is an ATX full. There's different sizes, and like we used the search feature before, you come down here and you go ATX full tower, not mid tower, not half tower, blah blah blah. Okay, and I was looking at this one the other day, because I was looking to get these all set up for you guys when I was researching what to talk about. And this case from Asa looked to be a really good one. It's only $114. It does not come with a power supply. We're going to talk about power supplies after the video cards. But it's almost all open. I mean, it has a silly blue lighted fans and stuff, which you don't need. But you could easily fit all of your stuff in here. Man, is this the right one? Let's go back. I don't know, maybe it wasn't this one. It was a different one. Actually, it was an Asa, but it was massive. It was in the $120 to $140 range. But let me show you one anyway that I know will work. Like this one here is massive. Full tower. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you're not sure, yeah, this is the right one. It's because I remember they had the lights on the front. This one is like really, really tall. It's let's zoom in here. Yes. 23 inches tall. 23.2 inches tall, which is pretty tall. And it has plenty of room to put the 4 video cards in. And there's places all over the place for fans and all this other stuff. If you're ever concerned about which case to get, Newegg pretty much always has this really cute girl who does these reviews of the cases, and she will teach you how to use the case on these videos, and they're all from YouTube, and they're on each case's page. Okay, so $164. Let's just add that, and we'll move on, because the case is not necessarily something you have to really concern yourself with, especially if you're going to build one of your own. So let's add to cart. And let's grab this. It's over 9,000. I love that. That's so cute. And then we'll come here and we'll pop that in. And we'll say 1, and it's 149. And computer case. Before we've done anything, we've spent $624. Now, I know a few of you people have written me, a few of you viewers have written me and said, look, I need to build this on a budget. Can I do this with baling wire and bubblegum? And yes, you can. If you wanted to go and find used parts on eBay, you could put one of these together, probably less than $200. How fast it's going to hash, who knows, okay? You're going to get what you pay for. I don't mean to be rude about it, but you can't get into this with a really old low-end machine and expect to get many coins. It might take you a month to get a single coin if you're talking old stuff. But if you're okay with that, you're still getting a coin a month, and you get 12 a year. Okay, but we're going for hardcore here. These are people who want to live on the edge and flaunt with disaster. Okay, excuse me. So we've talked about we have a case now, so we have everything we need except the video cards. So let's talk about video cards. First off, the preferred video card. I don't know how many people ask me. This is one of the biggest questions I get. What video card should I get? Right now, still, the best bang for the buck is an AMD 7950. It says it right here, 7950. Okay? If you're online and you see a HD 7770, it is not the same card. You are always going to be looking for a 7.9 series or a 6.9 series or a 2.9 series if you want the best performance. If you guys don't care about the best performance, then yes, you could buy a 7750 or a 7850 or a 6950 or a 6850, whatever. If you want the best performance, the one that's going to get you the most amount of coins for the time you're putting into it and the energy you're investing, then you want a 7.9 series, 6.9 series, or 2.9 series card. I don't mean to be blunt, but stop sending me these emails asking me if you can use these cards from 10 years ago. No. And another thing, I don't know who put the wrong information out there, but when you have an i7 and it has an Intel HD 4000 video card, it does not have a real video card. It is a built-in video card to the processor itself. It is not a discrete card. And while it might hash, it's definitely not going to hash nearly as fast as a dedicated GPU. Can't happen. Sorry, going off on a bit of a tangent there, but it drives me nuts. I keep getting all these things, people asking me, I got an HD 4000, how come it's not working? Because you don't have a video card. You have a processor that has an onboard video card that emulates a real video card, but it's not necessarily a discrete graphics card. You need a discrete graphics card. A card like this, or like this, or like this. These are called graphics cards. You need that to mine. So in our system that we're going to be building, you're going to put 4 of them. So let's go shopping and figure out what we can do with what's available right now. Since I did my video, I bought a 7950. It's in right now, and actually it's running while we're doing this. I can't show it to you. The price of 7950s were reasonably around $150 to $180, depending on if it had a lot of stuff and bells and whistles. Now 7950s on eBay are going for a cubic buttload of money. Everybody knows it. Let's go look at this one. It is a Sapphire Radeon HD 7950 3GB DDR with boost. Yay. For $450 MEFing. This is insanity. Why is this insanity, Geekdomo? Well, the 7950 is a card that's 2 to 3 years old already. Like 2 to 3 years old. And it's going for $50 more than a brand new 290. So it's, AMD went from the 7000 series. They decided not to go to 8000 series. They just started over with the 290, or the 200 series. So it goes to HD 7900 series to R 200 series, okay? So HD has now been replaced to R, and it starts at 200. Now, this is crazy, and this is what's going on all over the place. Everybody knows about these cards. Yes, it's going to get you the most bang for the buck. It hashes around 600 hashes per second, 600,000 hashes per second, which is great. 600 to 700. I do it all day long at 700 is what mine's getting, which that's great. And it uses a lot lower voltage. Fine. It is nowhere near worth $419. It is a $150 card all day long. This price is because of us, the miners. We're panicking and we're paying anything we can to get this stupid video card that is, while it's great, is not nearly worth this much money. You should be able to get 3 video cards for that price. 3, not 1. So be careful. I'm telling you this right now as a friend. If you're watching my videos, obviously you care about doing this right. This is too much. You're getting raped. And they're not even using lube. Okay? So this is bad. And this is all over eBay. This price. Ooh, wow, this guy actually... Well, this is... You're bidding on him, but he's still $250. Buy it now for $350. This is not a $350 card. I paid $160 for mine a month ago. And that was the average price then. Supply and demand, folks. Supply and demand. Oh, this guy. 190. I was 175 a second ago. It's already up to 195. But he even says Litecoin Bitcoin mining. This guy, I mean, the word's out, folks, and these are the best cards to get. Okay, so Geekdomo, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to get ass raped. Can you show me something else? Sure. The other card that you can get is the current reference model cards, which are the 290 series. Okay, so while you're having a look at that, we will talk about the different designs in just a second. I'm going to go here back. I'll go back here so you can watch what I'm doing. I'm going to go back here. We're going to go to video cards. Oops. Where are the video cards? Video cards. And we want to go with desktop graphics card, and we're going to go with an R9 series. Okay? Okay. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, and I apologize. The 270X. If you notice, this card has 3 fans on it. And why do all the other ones have 1 fan, Geekdomo? Because the 1-fan cards are called reference cards, and they're the brand new cards that just came out. The 270X is literally, I believe, a 7950 or 7970. I don't know the exact number, but it's effectively that card. Okay? It is not the latest generation. This is a rehash. Basically what AMD did was like, hey, we'll take our old cards, throw a new label on it, and we'll call it new. And it's nothing new. NVIDIA does the same thing. Okay, every time a new card series comes out, they sell you the older cards with a new name. So this card here, the 270X, how will it perform? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go over here to no, hold on, the wrong page. Let's go here. We will go over here to Litecoin hardware comparison. Now this is in the link. I'll put this in the link of this video, and it's also in the link of all my other videos. Okay. You want to use this page because if you're into buying the video card, you have to know where you're going to stand, whichever card you're looking for. Okay. So a 7750. I had people write me, oh, I can't get a 7950 Geekdomo. I'll get a 7750. It's close. It's not close. A 7950 gets 600 to 700,000 hashes per second. This gets 165 and 174, 151. It's crap. It's an old card that they put a new badge on. So don't fall for the number thing. You got to go for the 900 series, 800 series at worst, okay? Even look at these 800s. There's 300,000 hashes per second, which is good, but Look at this 7950, 700 all day long. Okay? So, oh, look at this. Well, last time I was here, there were almost no 200 series R's at all. And now this thing is filling right up. Great. This is awesome because the more that people put in here, the better. All right. So let's look at a 270X. A 270X is 400,000 hashes per second. Looking at all of them, it's 476 to 450. That's not great at all. Okay? That's less than the 7950, so it's probably a 7800 series card. Because if you go up here, you go to the 7800 series. Yeah, look, it's a 7870 that they rebadged. So the 270X is a 7870 rebadged, because look at the numbers, it's about 400. Okay? If you're okay with that, you can get that. That is nowhere near the performance you're looking for. Okay? Now I have a 290, and I'm hitting 815 every day, all day long, when I'm running it. And which is about right what it's showing here. And then you go to 290X. You notice the 290X is not much faster. And another thing too is these cards use a ton of electricity and they're hot as a bastard, the 290Xs. The 290 is not so bad. Okay, so I'm going to recommend that you go with a 290. If you can't find a 7950, go to a 290, okay? Look, the 7950 here, it uses a low wattage, which is great, and you can also push it to a an intensity of 20. That's why people like the 7950s, okay? But if you can't find them, do not spend $400 on this stupid card or more. That's just crazy talk. Okay, so back onto the list. So R290 is what I'm going to recommend. We'll see what we can find. I can't guarantee anything, but let's give it a shot. I also have Amazon here. We'll talk about Amazon in a second. You always want to double check all the prices for everything you buy against Amazon, because sometimes the card here might be one price and over there it's a little bit better, or vice versa. So we don't want a 270. It's junk. The 270X, junk. The 280 is about the lowest I'd recommend. I wouldn't go anything lower than a 280. Okay, so these three cards. The 290X is a $600 card. That's nuts. So let's just turn off the 290X because that's too much. $600. The 290, let's just look for 290s. They're a $500 card. That's more than I paid for mine. I paid $400 for mine. And if you notice, they are all out of stock. It's because of us, the miners. We have bought up all of them. People are buying these in droves. If they're seeing them for $500, they're spending $6,000, $7,000 on nothing but cards. And while it'll get you coins, it's expensive initial outlay. Okay, so oops, we want the 290 series, and we're just going to pretend that they're available. Now, the reason I say we're going to pretend they're available is, geez, I did it again. I turned it off. We want the 290. They're $500. So we're going to pretend they're available so that we can continue on with the thing and say add to cart. So they're $500 a piece. So we're going to come here, and I have the gigabyte one. So we're going to go here, and then I'm going to copy this here. Before we go on, I do want to talk about something. This has 4 gigabytes, fantastic. The higher number of RAM, the more amount of RAM that it has, the better on your video card. Plus, this is a 512-bit. That means you have a path on a video card from the GPU to the RAM, and the path can be really narrow. So if like it's a 264-bit or whatever is a path. Okay, that's decent. But the wider the path, the faster that it'll hash. So you want one with as wide of a bandwidth as possible, and 512-bit is great. It's the newest cards have the 512-bit, which means it's got a really wide open path to transfer the hashes back and forth from the GPU to the RAM that's on the card. And GDDR5 just means that it's graphics RAM. It's DDR5, which right now on the computer we're using DDR3. So it's going to take a while because the processor can't communicate on the bus quick enough, as quick as a video card can. That's why we're using it on the GPU. Oh, sorry, digressed. Okay, back to our rig here. So we're going to pop this in, okay, and this is video card. All right, and we are going to need 4 of them, and they cost $500. It's $2,000 in video cards. We're up to a total of 2624. Now, before we finish up, we need one more thing, which is the power supply. We have to figure out a couple of things. The best way to figure out how a card is going to perform is you want to come over here and you look at the CG miner. Now, this middle column here where it says 300, 325, 470, this is the wattage that each card is going to use. Now, we picked, let's go back to our sheet, a R2929D5. So we look and see if somebody, yep, 2929D5, 4 GB. This is the card that I own, and this is the card that we put on the list. Okay? And see, he's getting 817 perfect. I'm getting 815. I'm right in line with what this guy's getting. Absolutely great. Okay. And it runs hot as a mother. It's 70 to 80 C. Wait, well, okay, sorry, we have a question from the audience. Why do we need 4 GPUs? Okay. If you notice, this guy is getting 817,000 hashes per second. We'll go back over to our little list here. 815 is what I'm getting, times 4 is 3.2 million hashes per second. At the current rate and difficulty, we'll go to WeMineLTC. Okay, and we log in. And we'll go to the user chat while we're going over here because this is a great little calculator and we're going to use it right now. So connect. And when I first joined this thing, there was 7 people in chat. Now there's more than 7. Okay, so we're going to do, you type in calc, and what do we have as our number? 3.260, or it was 3260. Okay, at current difficulty of 3094, your expected Litecoin earnings are 1 coin a day. This rig last month would have got you 4 to 5 coins a day, but now we're down to 1 coin a day, 7.42 per week, and 31 coins per month, which earns you a total of $908.88 per month at the current value of $28.59. If you have a single card, which is how I started and which many of the other people started, we'll just do the single card and do the comparison. So calc 815, which is what I'm getting on my one card. Calc at 815, I'm earning 0.26 coins per day, which is $227 per month, or yeah. So it's $227 per month, and everyone's doing the calculations because I'm showing them how to do it on this chat, so it's flying by. I lost where I was. Sorry. Okay, so basically $900 a month or $230 a month current difficulty. Now the difficulty keeps going up, so this is going to go down. So you need the horsepower. Why we're going with 4 cards is because you're brutalizing the system and you're taking as much as you possibly can while you can. This is like back in the old days in the back in the old days of mining. You know, if you could go out and mine with a single pan, you take and scoop up some dirt, shake it around, and you find a few flakes, put that in a jar, and you go and scoop up some more, find a few more flakes, put that in a jar. It takes you 6 months to get this much gold by doing that. Or you get a big ass machine and you dump thousands of yards of dirt through it every day, and you come out with pounds of gold. Which one do you want? Do you want to go the slow route, which is cheapest? You got a pan and some water and dirt. Or you get a big ass front end loader and you got a big sluice box and all this stuff you dump all this dirt through. It's whichever one you want. So we're going with the sluice box method. We're going with dumping tons of dirt through to get more coins. That's why we're going with 4 coins. So 4 cards. And actually that's fine that you asked that, because it is in line with what we were talking about with why you want these video cards. So that is where we're at. This is we're going with a more expensive route, but this is a way to build a better, more powerful machine that will get you coins quicker. All right, and by like that's Litecoin, and we can talk about some of the other coins, and some of the other coins that are at the difficulties a lot lower. You might get 5-6 coins a day with a system like this, so it might be worth it. Okay. All right, so he says he wasn't understanding what we were doing. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right, so we are at $2,624, and we have one more piece that we're going to need for our system. Actually, a couple little pieces, but one big piece. We have to go back to our document here, right here. And the document says that at this rate, this particular system this guy's using is using 233 watts. Now look at the 290Xs. They're up in the 300 to 400 watt. That's why I like the 290 better than the 290X. 290X costs $600. This costs $500. It's $100 more, uses more wattage, and it doesn't give you that much more throughput. So the 290, in my opinion, is the current 7950. It's a better, it's the middle of the road card, but it gives you the best bang per wattage. So 233 watts a card. Let's just round that up to 250 watts just to be safe. Okay, so 250 watts per card times 4 cards is 1,000 watts. Okay, and then you're going to have to think of the overhead of the system. So let's add another 100 watts for the processor and the motherboard and all the other stuff. So we're looking at 1,200 to 1,500 watts would be safe for this 4-card system. Okay? I would go on the high end because you never know when you want to add another card. Now, we're only doing it with a 4-card system. So you basically, sorry, somebody just asked a question. It kind of threw me off. I'll answer in just a second. So basically, you're going to need a good honkin' system here. All right, so we're going to need a new power supply. Power supply is very important in this system, okay? Everything hinges on the power supply other than the video cards. So there's, if you notice here, there is plus, bronze, gold, and platinum. Plus certified is basically silver. Okay, silver, bronze, gold, and platinum. What this basically means, what these colors mean, and this is just a generalization, I'm not giving you the hard numbers, but basically a plus bronze can go maybe 10%, 20% over. A gold can maybe go 30 to 40% over, and a platinum can go maybe 50 to 70% over what it's rated at. So you could really push a platinum, but the platinum ones cost a ton. So I usually try to look at the gold. Okay? And we are going to need at least 1,200 watts. That's what I think would be safe. So between 1,200 and 1,500 watts. Okay, and the reason we're doing that, remember, we have these video cards that can eat up a ton of power. Your SSD hard drive is not going to use much at all. It's like milliwatts. It's really tiny. And then the processor and RAM and everything. So look at this one. Silverstone or the Thermaltake. They're both exactly the same price. I would almost go with the Thermaltake just because I've had some really good success with them in the past. So I'm more comfortable going with Thermaltake, but it's up to you. Either one's fine. So $250, 1,200 watt power supply. It's kind of sexy looking too. Strange, I was like a round. Never seen round ones. And it's a gold, so I mean, it's good for 1,200 watt, but it can easily go as high as, if you had another 20-30% on there, maybe 1,500-1,600 watts before it would blow up. Yeah, the ratings are how efficient they are. Yes, but it also means how far you can push it over too. I don't think they even mentioned that, but that's oh, at efficiency over 87% at any load between 100%. So right now I've got a gold 700 watt, and I'm pushing 750 watts all day long, and it's fine. I wouldn't do that forever, but it can be done. Okay. So yeah, this is all. Well, this is theoretical, but sorry, Hudser just asked, is this a theoretical build? This is theoretical, yes, but it can be done. I'm not literally going to buy this right now. I'm just showing everybody how to do this because I've gotten several people who have asked me, what should I do? How do I build this? This is scaring me, and so I'm making this video to walk you through it. So we'll say this power supply is fine. So just for right now, this power supply, $250, whatever. So we'll go back over here, and we'll put this in. Okay, and we'll pop that in here. And this one was $249. And one of those. And we're up to $2,873. And there's one other thing we're going to need. It comes with the power plug. It's got everything else. So what you're really going to need is you need a riser. So we need a PCI Express X16 riser. What am I talking about? What's a riser? All right. Is this the right one? Holy Jesus. People are on crack. These risers are like $5 a piece. They're supposed to be $5 a piece. Wow. Everybody, we're blowing up our own stuff here. Like this is crazy. Forget eBay. We're gonna go to Amazon. I already have Amazon open over here. We're gonna go PCIe X16 riser. These are $30 right now. What the hell is happening? This is way too much money. All right, well, we're just going to show you it for sake of example. Okay. Oh, okay, so we got some people chatting in here real quick. Spato SMG says, dude, thank you a lot. I started mining a week ago, and guess what? I started my company around it. Awesome. Okay, great. Very cool. I'm glad that these videos are helping you. Okay, so anyway, this is the thing you're looking for, everybody. This price is if you are on crack, or the guy's on crack. I would not pay $32 for one of these. No. Do not pay $32 for one. This is a $5 item to $10 item at best. It's literally a cable. I can't. It's blowing my mind that these people are just raping us miners. Okay, they're what it is you got a pan, and the pan is just a pan with some little dents in it, and it basically costs maybe $1 to make, and they can sell it to you for like $5. And what's happened is these people are taking stacks of these pans. They've gone out to the Old West and where they did the mining, the gold mining, and they're selling these pans that cost $1 for $50 a piece for a piece of metal that has ridges in it. They're just taking advantage of us and whatever. I look around for it, but this is the thing you need. Okay, I'm just going to put this in the list as it is. Okay. And I'm going to put down that you need 4 of these, and they should cost around $10 a piece. Okay, that's nuts. The $32 a piece. Whatever. Okay, and so that's what you need. And why do I need those? Okay, so what are you talking about? This is why you need them. If you notice, these cards are spaced apart so that they can get more airflow through them and be more efficient. Okay. If you cram them up right, if you could fit all 4 of these cards on this motherboard, if you jam them together, that won't work. They need to have a little airspace in here, and this will run the coolest. All right. So this is the way you do it. You plug this card in. Let's go back here to my picture. You plug that part in here, the gold part, will plug into the motherboard directly, and this part here, the black part, plugs into the bottom of the video card, and then that's where you get the cable. You see the ribbon cable, the gray cable down here? That's how you put them in. And then you have as much room as you need to space these out. Matter of fact, you could daisy chain these cables. What am I talking about, daisy chain? What do you mean? What's that? Daisy chain means you buy 2 of these and you plug one into the other one. You literally plug the one cord into this one ribbon cable into this one, and then you plug this one into the motherboard. Now you have twice as long, because this one is how long is this one? The length is 7 inches. So if you need to go 14 inches, like if you're building your rig here and you space them out, you see, now you need 2. You could have 2 of them, but you could put this cards all the way across the top here as long as you got enough airspace. All right, so there we are. That is pretty much all you're going to need to get your system started with a 4 card system. Now, if you want, oops, I Forgot to put myself back on. Sorry. So we're at 29.13 after tax. You're looking at about $3,000 probably easily. Okay. So for $3,000, you can get into this and get a system going with our hardware thing here, 815. And we looked at the thing. You're going to make $900 a month with this system currently right now. That's with the coins being at $28 a coin. So let's say you're making 15 a month, and in 6 months you have, we'll just do a little bit of fun playing around here. Let's say you're making 15 coins a month with this rig. Oh no, actually this rig, we just did the math. It makes 1.5 coins a day. So times 30, it's 45 coins a month. Times say $30 right now is $1,350 a month times 6 months. This thing could bring you as close to $8,000. Now this is the coins stay at 28. I'm expecting them to go up. So let's go back again. So let's say 40 coins a month. You may take it down for an hour or two every day or something, whatever. So it's 40 coins a month times, 6 months. It's 240 coins. And let's say coins go up to as high as $100. That's $24,000, folks. That's nothing to shake a stick at. The difficulty has jumped incredibly high, so we can't say that that's going to last forever. But let's go to my stats. If I want you to notice a trend here, we'll go to let's go to 1 week. Actually go to a month. You notice that I'm getting around 0.4 coins a day because I have a 6950, a 7950, and a 290, not an X, 290. And when I first started, I was getting up around 0.6, and if you notice, the trend line is starting to go down, and I'm running at the same amount of time every day. The reason the trend line is going down is I'm getting less and less of a coin per day because the difficulty is going up and up and up. Every time this difficulty goes up even a little bit, you get less of a coin a day. And right now my round share is 0.001 for Litecoin. When I started, it was 0.2. So it's already gone down 0.02. Now it's 0.001 and it's going down. The difficulty is going up. So at some point we need an ASIC miner. And a lot of people have been saying, and I get this all the time, and it's driving me nuts, there are no ASIC miners for Litecoin yet that are real. There's a bunch of fly-by-night guys who come on YouTube and say, hey guys, I'm taking pre-orders for my ASIC miner for Litecoin, and all you need to do is send me $5,000 and you'll be one of the first ones to get one. They're taking your money and they're running away. They're not real people. They're hucksters and they're rip-off artists. The only time I would ever trust a company to say we're making an ASIC miner for Litecoin would be somebody like, where is it? Oh, here. Would be Butterfly Labs. Butterfly Labs makes Bitcoin mining ASIC cards and standalone units that you can run that do like 330 million hashes per second. I have seen that there are some people that are talking about that we have a brand new FPGA card coming out, which is a different type of system. It's not ASIC, and we're going to get 3 million hashes per second. And all you need to do, or sorry, 3 million hashes per second. Sorry, 3 million hashes per second, and it's only $4,000 or $4,500 is one I've seen recently. It's an FPGA. It uses a lot less wattage. Okay, I'll give you that. It uses less wattage. But it does less than our system we just built here for $3,000. Okay, this system all in is $3,000, and it is this system we did the math on is 3.3 million hashes per second. Okay, so why would I spend another $1,500 to get a little box that does the same thing, other than it uses less wattage? So, be careful, guys. Really. Everyone's so excited about getting into coin mining and all that, and I can appreciate that. but there are no real ASIC miners out right now, and there's only FPGA that is sort of on the horizon, and they're asking too much. If they had a 3 million hashes per second miner, the ASIC miner, FPGA, whatever, that costs $1,000, do it. Do it all day long. It's way cheaper than this, and it costs a lot less electricity and all that. Do it. $5,000 or $4,500 to $5,000, you're crazy. Unless you're just too lazy and you don't want to go build your own machine. Okay? So, stop. You cannot use ASIC for Litecoin mining. You cannot use ASIC for Litecoin mining. They are a different algorithm. Okay? So I know people, I actually had somebody who wrote me, and they're so excited, they got all worked up, and they went out and bought a bunch of these ASIC miners from Amazon. Okay? Look at these. These Eruptors. 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, they were $20 a piece. Now they're $105. This is how you set them up. You buy one USB bank and you stick them in there. Each one of these does 330 million hashes per second for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, not Litecoin. Please, people, stop buying these things to do Litecoin mining. And even though that looks impressive, and it does a lot of hashes, it will not get you much with Bitcoin. The difficulty on Litecoin right now is or almost 3,000. What did it say it was? Yeah, it's 3,000 already. On Bitcoin, it's 500 million or some crazy number. You need like 1,000 of these ASIC miners to even get a chance to get a coin. And if you want to spend that kind of money, go for it. It's not worth mining Bitcoin anymore. It's dead. Unless you just have millions to throw at it. Okay? So, I'm giving you guys this as a heads up, because a lot of people, they see these little things and they go, oh, look at this. I can buy one of these for $100 and it does 330 million hashes. The hash for a Bitcoin is in the millions, okay? For even the smallest thing, even an old video card will do millions. The hashes for Litecoin is thousands. Just wanted to straighten that out. All right? Yeah. Oh, 800 million. Okay. Sorry, Spatomatic SMG just says it's like 820 million right now is the current difficulty for Bitcoin. You're talking about years with banks of these things to even get a chance to even get a single coin. What? There's no chance. I mean, you're wasting money. Just don't even, you can't do it now. Just give up. Unless you already had these things running for the past 10 years, you're just wasting your time. So at some point down the road, they will make an ASIC-like miner for Litecoin. They have to, because the profit is starting to come in there. So companies like Butterfly Labs, which I showed you the picture here, will come up with a system for your computer to plug these things directly into. Okay? While this looks great, this card here is their current ASIC miner for Bitcoin. Notice it is a rendered 3D thing. It's not real. It doesn't have any pins on it. It's just rendered in 3D to look real. So you guys got to be careful when you go out there and start looking at some of these things, and they look so impressive. There is no history with these companies. Butterfly Labs, yes. I would recommend, if Butterfly Labs today said, we are coming out with a ASIC miner next month for Litecoin, I'm all on it if it's in a good price range. So I'll be ready to jump on it at that point. But right now, no. It's best in mind with GPUs, and that's why we went over this today. All right, so I guess that's pretty much it. We've covered everything. The rig build sheet is here on bit.ly.miner build. So if you are looking to read this, make it a little bit smaller so you can read this. If you are looking to look at this, there it is. If there's some things we might have missed, sure. Probably some little things, but nothing major. I mean, we're talking like screws and nuts and bolts. But basically, this is everything you will need to build the whole system from scratch. Okay? And it's all right here, bit.ly/minerbuild. It's capital M. It's case sensitive. And I will be doing more videos as we get going. Oops, sorry, wrong screen. And we'll talk about some some more stuff. My next video will probably not be a Litecoin video. I'm probably going to show you how to start doing some of these other altcoins, because the difficulty is getting so hard on Litecoin, it might be time to switch to another one. And you can switch to another one as long as the exchange takes it. If you look here, this Novacoin is currently at $15 a coin, and you can mine Novacoin a lot easier than you can mine Litecoin right now, but it uses a different algorithm. I think Novacoin is using the same one as Bitcoin, so you get like the millions of hashes per second, but Nameless Coin, I think, is the script that's the same as Litecoin. So all these coins are kind of popping up, and as long as you can convert one of those coins into something you really want, like a Bitcoin or a Litecoin, then here you go. All right, so I guess that's it, everybody. Thanks everybody for coming out, and thank you guys in the audience for coming and asking questions. Yeah, that is pretty much it for today. Oh, the difficulty from Novacoin, Spazmatic just said it's 336515961. Oh, 336. Oh, I see. So it's 336 compared to 800 million for Bitcoin. So time to start with a new coin. We'll talk about that in another video. That'll be my next video. We'll talk about the altcoins, some of the other altcoins we can look into that we can still use our system that we just built for doing a different coin. Okay? And get more of them. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. This is Geekdomo. Until next time, saying, see ya.